What's one thing you can do super easy to help improve communication on the production floor? Hey folks, it's Kirk, and I'm here with practical leadership tips for you and your team. On a recent episode of Leader Feeder, we talked about ways that you can improve communication on the production floor. And this tip, I think, is really one that helps a lot of people ensure that their communication is clear and sends the right message. All right, so you're on the production floor, you're communicating with your team every day, all day, and you want to try to make sure that your communication is a little bit more effective. Here's something you can do. Take a quick beat to think about how you want the team to think, feel, or what you want them to do as a result of your communication. Now, that might sound obvious. You're like, yeah, of course, I'm communicating with them because I want them to do something. But often we just launch into the communication without really thinking about what's my intention. So not just what are the words that I'm about to say, but it also does, we also do mean the words, but we mean what's the tone we're going to use? How do we want the people to feel after? Do we want them to feel motivated? Do we want them to feel engaged? Do we want them to feel empowered, right? So we got to think for a quick second, okay, I'm about to communicate. I want them to do this task. Well, I want them to do it, and I want them to feel empowered to do it, and I want them to know that it needs to be done by the end of the week. So even taking that quick second to think about that, now we've talked about a deadline, we've talked about the sort of tone that we're going to use, and we've talked about clarity on the task. We're going to have a much better communication than if we just run into the room, say exactly what the very first thing is that comes to our minds, and then run back out of the room, back to our job. So when you're communicating with your team, take an extra second just to think, plan out that message and think, what do I want the team to think, feel, or do as a result of my communication? It'll help curb things like sarcasm or sharp tones when you don't intend it. It'll help ensure that you're explaining the why, which is a really important piece when communicating. And it'll help ensure you're adding extra details that clarify expectations. So things like deadlines, who should be doing what, and how it should be done. There you have it. Like and follow us for even more practical leadership tips for you and your team.